Okay, we're back again today to do another 120 million challenge. Now, we are giving it to Nottingham Forest, and if you're seeing what Forest are doing in real life, they are absolutely flying. And as a Man United fan, as a resident of Nottingham, I must tell you, it kills me. Yes, it absolutely kills me. I deal with it every day. But I thought, let's today have a look at the Forest team, because I think they've actually got a pretty decent team to build with FM. So 120 million with them. Throw it out there. Let's see what we can do. So that leaves us with the first thing to do, and that is obviously to check how they've done. So as you can see here, they did get relegated. 22 losses, only managing 8 wins, 32 points, actually against Brighton. I must say, since I've done the update and stuff as well, the leagues, to be fair, that looks pretty normal in terms of the league there as well. But when I'm doing some of these, they're absolutely wild. Everyone seems to be everywhere. But yes, Forest getting relegated there as well, only just away from it, 1 goal difference. So that's where we got to be. If we look at how they did in any of the cups, they got knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup, ironically to Brighton, their relegation battle there as well. And in the Carabao Cup, they got knocked out in the 4th round. So 4th round of the Carabao Cup and there as well. I think pretty much not getting relegated, you would say it's an improvement. But I would say with this Forest team, if we can have a bit of a look at this Forest team, I'll say the players that they've got, really, these players, you should just be doing a lot better. I just think even to base that back 4 is pretty solid. FM stats, obviously, it's not showing completely, but the actual FM stats, they're not bad. So I think a good system and everything there as well. I think it's absolutely more than beatable. And the last thing we need to do is just have a look at how they spent their money. And looking at it, if I kind of highlight from where they started making the signings, which is here downwards, I'm going to be honest with you, they really didn't use any of the money. Pretty much, let's call it 10 mil for Peru, 7 million rounded up for Jed Spence, another 300k. They've literally spent about 18k, 18k. And yeah, they got some frees, some loans in. They really haven't used the money up. I'm guessing they used it more for wage, but they made a few signings, but yeah, I think this one should be very beatable. It's just what we can extend it to and what we do, the difference of us and obviously the AI as well. So let's kind of jump over. Let's have a look. Let's see what I can do. Okay, I am now going to show you how I built the team. I'm going to have a look at, obviously just after the summer transfer window, we'll have a look at the first few games of the season, the results. I'll have a look at what I did in terms of transfers, and then also just to go with that, we'll have a look at how I've set the team up. I do like to maybe tinker a little bit with the team in January, but I will not be making any signings in January. I leave it kind of as it is, and we will go from there. Now, best thing to do now, jump straight into it. And here we are. So far here, good start to season, 2 wins, 2 draws, at home to Ipswich and away to Everton, and beating Newcastle away and Fulham at home. The Newcastle away is quite a shock result considering the fact of these 2 results. But to be honest, you just never know. It's going to take a little bit of time for this team to get used to it in terms of actually the more aggressive style, obviously, that I'm going to set up to play. But I'd say it's a good start. It's what you want to build off. But there's loads of ups and downs when you kind of do this. You can see the full results here as well. Winning in the Carabao Cup as well and penalties. But let's have a look at how I've made my signing. So we'll have a look over here. And ignore obviously all this because obviously a lot still to do with what they did before. But my signings start here. And these are my signings. So 20 million on Pedro. And I mean, how can you not? An absolutely solid striker. Good option to have up there as well. Good first touch in terms of passing. Obviously not the quickest, I would like a little bit quicker, but obviously good finishing and good composure. I was hoping him to get me a lot of goals. In other signings, Mateus Cunha, because I absolutely love him in real life, I'm not going to lie to you. They did play a huge part in this, but I wanted somebody off that inside left to kind of drift in and obviously look at the dribbling and the finishing stats. He's got everything I needed from a player there. Gabriel Barbosa, because he's on a free and you can't not, honestly. He's got a little bit more pace than Pedro, but his finishing and composure is solid with good passing, so he can play off the right hand side or he can play up top. They were my main things there as well, and I wanted a bit of a midfield destroyer, so I went for another ball winning midfielder in João Gomez. Tiny little signing. That signing cost me, I think that was second most, so 43. I've kind of funded Wolves, I'm not gonna lie to you. That was Not intentional, but they have a few players in there that I wanted to steal, and I thought, that's perfect. They'll come to me. I'm going to make the most of it. But looking here, you can see here, 47 million and 43 million up front, 90 plus an additional 5. About 5 million out to them. And then, of course, the 20 million there. So you're looking at about 115 million. Barbosa was on a free. And then 50 million here as well. So 165 million, which obviously looks a lot more. That's 45 mil over what I was supposed to be getting. So before anyone starts to panic and go, you spend 45 mil more than the 120 mil that you said you were going to spend. Relax. 125 mil even, sorry. Relax. It's okay. Because I sold 52 million, rising to 66 million for Sangara from here as well. I love Saudi clubs. Don't you just love when the Saudis come for your player? Oh, you see that bid, you're like, yep, thank you. Your players don't really turn them down because they want the money. So yeah, I would say a solid signing. The 50 mil on Van Heck as well. And I just think he's a great player. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's absolutely solid. And if I was actually building long term, he's who I would go with, because you just look at the stats. I can grow him a little more. I just think that's absolutely perfect. Let me show you the actual team and how I'm setting up. So I've gone with a 4-2-3-1 shape, similar to how they actually are in real life, to be honest with you. I want 2 inside forwards here. I just want them drifting in, and I'm going to have the wing backs kind of attacking on the outside. I wanted a destroyer and more of a ball winner, a ball player in here as well, just to drop in and get on the ball. I've gone with Anwani up top and mix him with Pedro. Anwani's still a very good player. Just that composure kind of lets him down, but physically he's a bit more of a presence. And yeah, Gibbs White, he was just somebody that I just think always grows. I always notice he grows. You're going to notice a few more oranges by the end of this, I'm sure, is what always happens with this guy. And yeah, in terms of the back line, just Van Heck adding to them. But yeah. Barbosa in, only Pedro that hasn't initially started, but I could easily do that, and I've kind of integrated all my starters, all my signings straight into the team, and honestly I think I'm ready to go. And yeah, best thing to do now, let's do this and let's simulate, get towards the end of the season, and we'll have it out there. Let's see what I can do. Alright then, let's have a little look at what I've done, and to be honest, I think I did very well. I'm going to be honest with you, maybe 1 point, maybe not, and let me show you this as well. So as you can see here, in the league, finishing 6th, lost 10 less games, drew 2 more, and added 8 wins to the column there as well. 58, only 7 off Champions League, and I think once you go through a little further with the coefficiency, 5th will actually get it, so realistically probably only 4 off. A pretty solid run, and this is what I said before about some of the positionings get kind of wild. Chelsea down there, Tottenham in 13th, Arsenal 9th, just get a bit wild. Palace being 5th, just I didn't even take that one in. That's already wild in its own right. In terms of like the system wise, to get that 6th place, I did keep it kind of exactly the same. Mixed it in as well. I did try him advanced playmaker some part of January, but it didn't really feel like it flowed the same. January obviously went well, but in the actual gameplay it wasn't actually as good. So with only 3-2 win against Everton, it weren't great. You can see the season was kind of scattered after that start. Started to struggle a little bit in form, picked it up more here after the January time, and then ended the season a lot stronger there as well. But as you see, it's not perfect. It was never going to be perfect. A team that got relegated, when the AI does it, I ain't going to go out there and win the league, even with 125 million, 125 mil. You ain't going to win the league just with that. Well, some might, but I won't. I'll be honest with you. In terms of the actual building and stuff as well, as we can see results wise, we did actually become runners up in the FA Cup. You can see here losing in extra time to Liverpool. So I would say that is a great result on it, just on its own, a great result there. But we did go out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup compared to the 4th or 5th round, maybe even in the Carabao Cup for the AI. So they did better as there, but everywhere else we absolutely smashed it. In terms of my signings, if I can have a look, show you how the signings did. Van Heck with an average 6.9 rating. He kind of grew a little bit as well. That heading kind of grew. You can see a little bit more orange. He was just pretty solid as well all season long. See the better of the 2 centre-backs there. João Gomez with, again, a 6.94. He grew a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Again, Gibbs White was the one I mentioned before. You just see a couple more greens in there as well, but he just grows so well on this game. I know I didn't sign him, but I just feel proud of him there as well. And Barbosa, his stats will kind of just stay the same at his age. And Mateus Cunha and Pedro, you know what you're going to get from them. With Cunha adding 11 goals. Pedro only 4 because I kind of ran with Amwani for a lot of this season. Pedro kind of played like more of a backup role. So it would look a lot more like this. But Pedro ended the season for us. Nothing crazy from anybody. As you can see, goals-wise, kind of just semi-spread out. But nothing wild from anyone. But I would say these results are absolutely great. 6th in the league. Runners-up. And then obviously there as well, you got a bit of Europe then to build. And I think, to be honest, to win the title with that one, probably only really take a few more seasons. I would say you'd be in Champions League, deep Champions League rounds and Premier League competing at least within the next 3-4 seasons of a save like that at least. Probably maybe even 2. I might actually do that. So comment down below if you want to see me do that. I might actually run that for you and just see how I can grow that team a little bit more. But that is it for me today. A very easy, very simple one. I think all in all, you can see we won that one as well. When you compare the two teams, we obviously went 6th in the league compared to 17th, so that is so much better. Also, we came 2nd in the FA Cup, winning in the runners-up, so we got to the final as compared to getting knocked out in the 5th round. And in the Carabao Cup, we got to the 3rd round. They did better us and get to the 4th round, so I'll give them the point there as well. But all in all, we did a lot better. That is it from me today. Very easy, very simple. Comment down below who you want to see me do next. Make sure you like, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. If you made it to the end, it means a lot. The Discord, everything is down below. Feel free to join. I'm going to start posting loads more in there. Start streaming stuff like this and just my own actual save that I want to do. So make sure we're showing the love. Helps a lot, as I said. That is it from me. We'll see you in the next one.